For the first time since 2001, the Mabel-Canton Cougar volleyball program is heading to the state tournament, and Lonnie Morken is the head coach for the Cougars. And Lonnie, I'll start it with the simple question. What's made this a special group?
Well, it's a simple question, but it doesn't have a simple answer. So first of all, they're very, very skilled, obviously, to get to this point in the season. And we've had a lot of skilled teams and a lot of skilled players the last 21 years that haven't made it to the state championship tournament. And we lost in the section championship 10 times since 2001. And so we've been very, very close multiple times with great teams and great players. But for whatever reason, this group was able to make it through. We had a lot of returners coming back from last year. So experience certainly was on our side. We only have 2 seniors and no juniors. All the rest are freshmen and sophomores. So I guess as far as grade-wise and age-wise, we could be considered young, but certainly not volleyball experience. So these kids play well beyond their years, and we just we're excited to still be playing Darren. I think we have pretty good ball control. We block a little bit better than we have in years past. We have a very good setter, and then we serve extremely strong. But these girls are a very tight-knit group. They're happy for each other's success. They want each other to succeed. There's no petty jealousy. There's no complaining about playing time. It's just a special group. And when you start, connecting the dots, it's again, it's not easy, but it's easy to see why this team is as successful as it is.
And obviously, the term success when it comes to high school sports is taken in many different ways, and you can't be just scoreboard reliant when you're talking about success. But you got over that hump and got to the state tournament this year. What got you over that hump?
About 3 weeks ago, I was looking at our statistics at that time, and I'm not a big stat guy, but once in a while you can look at it, and it can certainly help. And analytics is kind of one of the big catchphrases now in every sport. And about 3 weeks ago, I could see that we were historically good at that point in our team serving percentage, which is 95% as a team. And we've never been a team that serves super high percent because we value aggressive serving more to try and get some aces and get taller, more athletic teams out of system. So we're usually very fortunate. We're about 91 to 92% as a team. And so we're at 95%. And I was like, wow, that's pretty awesome. And then blocking 2 weeks ago, we had already with 2 weeks left in the season, we had more blocks than any team that I coached in 29 years. And so obviously we kind of have a reputation of being really good in the back row as far as our defense, but it certainly helps when we have some kids that can block in the front row. And then hitting efficiency. Our team hitting efficiency is 350 right now, and the highest we've ever had as a team was 310. And so I knew 2 weeks ago, historically, those statistics were unbelievably great. That didn't necessarily translate us getting to the state tournament, but those 3 areas, if we could continue at that level and then certainly play at that level when it counted most, would put us in a position to have a chance to get to the state tournament. And then sure enough, on Saturday against Bethlehem Academy, I mean, we served 98%. We only missed 2 serves, and a lot of our serving didn't directly lead to aces. We only had 5 total aces, but a lot of our deep float serves were able to get them kind of out of system, give us 3 balls. And then, goodness gracious, our attacking was just fantastic. We had 2 main attackers on Saturday. We wanted to try and find what was working for us and just stick with it and keep doing it until Bethlehem Academy changed something. And fortunately for us, we started with trying to establish our 2 middle hitters, and freshman Kinley Soini set a school record with 38 kills. And right behind her was our other middle hitter, sophomore Sejal Slafty, with 23 kills. And so 61 kills just between those 2 girls. And then Sahara Morken, our setter, then ended up setting a school record for assists in 4 sets with 68. And normally school records in volleyball are set in 5-set matches, and so for Kinley to get the school record in kills in 4 sets and Sahara to get the school record in assists in just 4 sets just kind of shows how efficient and productive our team was. And those 3 certainly got a lot of the publicity, but boy, our ball control with Sophie Morken and Kaylee Ingolson, and then Mackenzie Kelly, our libero, and then Lydia Vautlin, our DS, certainly put us in a position to have those offensive type of numbers, Darren.
And you mentioned Sahara, the setter. Obviously, you're very familiar with her. What makes her talented? What gives her not only the knowledge and the ability, but the desire to perform the way she does?
Yeah, well, we're very fortunate to have her, no doubt about it. And she was just named first team All-State, and then she was named Athlete of the Week from Channel 10 out of Rochester. But as a volleyball coach, we feel that our team or our game is the most team oriented. I know every other coach feels that way about their sport that they coach, but boy, Sahara's success is completely dependent on how good of our ball control is, and then how well our hitters can terminate balls. Because I know a lot of setters that are very good on teams that don't have good ball control, or they don't have hitters that can terminate the ball. And so you kind of just think that this is just a middling setter and she's not very good. Well, actually, she is good. She just doesn't have the statistics to back it up because of her teammates. And so Sahara's the first to give credit to the kids in the back row that can defend and pass balls, serve, receive balls, and then also kids in the front row that can terminate balls. So Sahara does a really good job of not trying to be better than the ball. We talk about that a lot in volleyball. Sahara realizes that we might have a hot hitter and we want to try and get her the ball, but if the pass isn't allowing her to get the ball to the hitter, she's going to go someplace else. And so she makes really good decisions. She's only 5'4", but she jumps really well. Teams really try and attack her on the right side when she's blocking, but she has about a 27 and a half inch vertical. So she can block okay, not great, obviously, but she can still block. And then being left-handed, she's athletic enough to be able to attack balls at the net. And we've actually used her a little bit swinging offensively this year too. So Sahara does a great job.
And Section 1 obviously is very talented. There's great volleyball played throughout the state of Minnesota, but how battle tested have you been going through this Section 1? Because year in and year out, it's just seemingly getting better in your part of the state. Is that fair to say?
It is. It's crazy, Darren. Like I said, 10 times we've lost in the section championship, and every one of those years we were ranked in the top 5 or 6 in the state, and we just couldn't get through. And this year was going to be the same. Spring Grove had probably one of the, if not their best team they've ever had in school history. Kenyawanna-Mingo was ranked in the top 10 as well. And then Bethlehem Academy was 4th in the state. And so, we defeated Kenyawanna-Mingo in 5 in the semifinals, and then Bethlehem Academy in 4. And we played Spring Grove twice in the regular season and beat them. So we played those teams 5 times because we played Bethlehem Academy at a tournament in the Twin Cities. And so we also defeated 3 other teams that were ranked in the top 10 throughout the year. And so we feel that we've played a really difficult schedule, but Section 1 every year in volleyball is gonna make you ready for the state tournament. Our 8th seed had 21 wins this year. I mean, what 8th seed in any section in any sport is going to have 21 wins? And it's just crazy good. And so we feel fortunate to have come out of this kind of battle zone of Section 1 volleyball, and we're excited to go up to the state tournament. We're going to represent hopefully Section 1 to a level that will make everybody proud of this area in volleyball.
Obviously, it's something that hasn't happened in 21 years, so you do have to celebrate getting to a state tournament. But talk about that transition of appreciating the accomplishment of getting to St. Paul, but now getting back into work to be done mode.
Yeah, and it's crazy. I mean, personally, and this is never about me as a coach. It's always about us and we as a team. But I wasn't the athletic director when we went for the last time 21 years ago. I certainly appreciate Pat Wilkin and all the work that he did when we went in 2000 and 2001, because this year I've been not only coaching and getting everything ready for the state tournament, but I've been doing all the behind the scenes things as well as the athletic director. And so my head is spinning completely. But it was interesting. After we won on Saturday, we talked a little bit as a team, and obviously things hadn't really settled in. And the realization that we were going to the state tournament hadn't come yet. But a couple of the girls had said, guys, just making it isn't good enough. We want to go up and still compete, and we want to still see if we can win 1 or 2, or 3 matches, which is everybody's ultimate goal if you get to the state tournament. But so our kids, I think, are going to be very hungry as far as not just being satisfied making it, because as young as we are, I've already had some people saying, oh my gosh, this is setting you guys up for a nice 2 or 3 year run of going to the state tournament. And that's the furthest thing from my mind and anybody's mind, because for everyone, I mean, I think you were a Cubs fan or still a Cubs fan.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious, you had many years of misery, and then they go to the World Series and win it, and holy cow, they got a lot of people coming back, and it hasn't happened since, and so with sports, you just never know, and especially with girls, you never know. There could be injuries, there could be complacency. You could have kids from other schools that grow or become, more explosive, and I mean, I hope it doesn't take 21 years again to go back, but we're really enjoying it. But there is a fine line between just being happy and satisfied, or saying, you know what, this is just another notch, on our list of goals for the season. Now we got to refocus and get after it. And the feeling from the girls so far is that they're not just happy and satisfied that we made it to state. We want to go up and certainly do some damage if we can.
And I think you bring up a great point. I don't know a lot in my almost 3 decades of doing this, but one thing we don't do enough in sports is live in the moment. We worry way too much about the future. We worry about way too much of what has been done. We don't live in the moment enough, and I appreciate that message.
Yeah, well, one of the things that is the ultimate goal in sports is to play in the now, and for kids to be able to play in the now, or coaches to coach in the now, and not worry about the last point or celebrate the last point too much, or worry about the point that's in the future, or in 5 or 10 minutes. You have to be focused and play in the now, and our kids are really good at that. And one of the things that we always talk about in the books that we've read as a team and stuff is you need to celebrate small victories as well, and so we, as the season has gone on, we've done a great job of realizing that every step that we take along the way is an important one. And we can't really reflect on the success of our season until it's completely done. And so we're really trying to enjoy this right now, and we have a banquet the team is going to, and we'll do some fun things as well when we're up in the cities. We're going to an escape room, and we have a couple of days of practice and stuff, but planned. But we're enjoying it right now, and we're just trying to soak it all in.
And the Minnesota State High School League does a really good job of making these not just sporting events, but overall events for the young people as well. You mentioned the banquet, you got other activities going on. You get to play in a world-class arena. It's a really a heck of a good time, and really a showcase of the young people in Minnesota.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing. We're very fortunate. We're one of the few states that has full consolation. I guess the teams that go 0-2 don't play a third match, but a lot of states, if you lose in the first round, you're done, or if you win and then lose in the second round, you're done. And so our girls know that if we can win one of our first 2 matches, we'll be playing 3 days up at the state tournament. And that really, I think, if you could say, other than, winning the state championship, I guess our number one goal would be to play a third day, because we just want to have as many chances to enjoy this last time together as we can. And so we are very fortunate, and they're playing at the Xcel Energy Center is just, second to none. I mean, it's going to be the premier state tournament venue that any state tournament volleyball, is held in. And so personally, I have a senior that's also on the team, Sophie Morken, and we have the other senior, Mackenzie Kelly, that, you certainly get super close to, and you just don't want their seasons to end, their careers to end. But what better place than the state tournament? So we're just fortunate, Darren, that we're still playing.
And give us a scouting report on Pine River Bacchus, your first round opponent.
Yeah, so Pine River is good, obviously, understatement. They're at the state tournament, but they're well coached. I'm friends with the coach. They have a middle hitter that's all state that is going to be just a load to handle for us. And so they have a very good setter, good libero, and then a couple other kids that can terminate the ball, and they just work extremely hard. I don't want to really compare them to any teams we've played this year. They're good, and I've seen a lot of weird things happen. Our kids are playing with a lot of confidence in the way we played against Kennewanna-Mingo and Bethlehem Academy. If we can go into Thursday's match playing with that confidence, that will hopefully lead into success on the court. Just because you're confident doesn't mean you're going to succeed. And I've seen a lot of weird things happen at the state tournament. I've seen teams number 1 ranked in the state go 0-2. Their kids just got lost in the moment, could not get the wheels back on the track. And I've seen underdog teams just perform well above what they should have on paper been able to do. And so, our kids are going to take a couple deep breaths. They're going to soak it all in. We're going to watch some of the games on Wednesday before we play. And then we're going to just come out charging. And we're going to have to play well to beat Pine River Bacchus. But, we also feel quite confident they're going to have to play well to beat us.
All right, Lonnie, we appreciate the time to preview the state tournament. Congratulations on getting there, and hopefully it's a 3-day stay with 3 victories coming up this weekend. But nonetheless, it'll be a memorable, enjoyable experience for your young women. Best of luck to you in St. Paul this week.
Yeah, thank you, Darren, and thanks for your success or support, and just the supports of the Mabel and Canton communities have just been overwhelming. And that's what's so cool about being from a small town or 2 small towns and going up there. We had a jam-packed side of our arena on Saturday against Bethlehem Academy, and I'm guessing we're going to rival even some of the bigger schools with how many fans are coming out to our match on Thursday. So We appreciate all the support, and yeah, we're excited, Darren. Thank you.
Lonnie Morken, head coach of the Mabel-Canton Cougars. They're at the state tournament for the first time since 2001.